country. They've been waiting eagerly, and all of you should be excited, especially those girls who like nice things. And we have some gifts. Pastor Salome, please.
My twin sister. This is the way of honoring. Wow. I know Sister Anila since 1989. We love her. Me and my husband. Sister Veronica, I know her since 89. Veronica. Sister Ashley. She's our children mentor. Kim. Yesterday we heard from Sister Kim.
I know. Very beautiful. See the effects of honor.
And this is for brothers. And that is and today and this is our Bien, vamos. You all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Such a royal way. Thank you. I'm so happy. Okay, so let's do from Haiti and vamos.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Let this family stay till Jesus comes.
Yes.
I just
Thank you. Can you feel the effects of honor? Can you feel blessed?
Yeah.
Honored? This is one of the methods or one of the ways that in India and even in our own Native American culture and other cultures that we give and receive honor. It is just what Ashley was speaking about. This is a demonstration of one way that you can honor someone. Hospitality in your own home, feeding someone, just the way you greet someone. These are all ways of honor. You can feel the effect, right? You can feel the blessing, the love, and we all feel accepted, appreciated, and we thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your love and your, I know you prayed over these,
Yes.
Yes.
and I know that we feel the blessing, the honor of, because all honor comes from God. But we are just instruments of the honor that comes from God. And when we honor somebody, we're giving them of the substance of God. We're giving them of the love. We're giving them of the honor. The kingdom of God works with honor. So I'm not going to repeat Ashley's lesson, but just for those who weren't here, there's a recap. How important is the honor in the home? The honor, even the Word of God says, men, listen to me. The Word of God says, men should honor their wives. You can read it, it's in the Bible. It says that we should honor widows. Widows indeed. That of the elders in our churches, they should receive even double honor. You know, forgive me, men who've been in the class with me. This is something close to my heart, and I just wanted to, for those who weren't in Teresa and Ashley's class, to remember the blessing that comes from God through us when we honor somebody. In Uganda, when we go as a guest and as a visitor, they will dance for 3 hours, celebrate your coming. This is the way that they honor. You will receive gifts around your neck. Some places you go to Hawaii, you receive flowers, right? These are ways that God has put into the culture to honor. So let us not, in the church of God, lose the beauty of honoring. Amen. I have the privilege now of introducing the wife, Brother Olson, Sammy, Yeshua, his wife, Jaqueline. More than a mother, more than the teacher of her children. She has passed through 4 or 5 years of the IT college and has her certificate in that, and that's not an easy accomplishment. She uses that ability in different ways in the church, and especially in the nonprofit that they will be speaking of. Brother Olson, I'm sure, will be speaking of later. He prefers to be called Olson unless his mother is speaking, then he's Sammy. Yeah, am I correct? And so, Jacqueline, we appreciate how you participate in the ministry together with your mother, together with your husband, amongst the youth. She's even been known to preach in the congregation, and she's such a blessing with all of the talents and abilities that she has. She's given it to the Lord, youth are benefited, young ladies are benefited, her family, her children are being educated. And so we just appreciate and want to respect that you have given your all to the Lord, your family, your church, and your community. Sister Jaqueline, please share with us what's in your heart.
Thank you, Pastor Gordon and Pastor Teresa. Thank you for inviting us, and we have enjoyed our time till now. And
Sister Jaqueline, would you prefer a microphone or would you prefer this to be louder? Okay. It should be on.
can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Check. So thank you so much for having us here. We've had such a blessed time for the past 2 days. We've been so encouraged by the testimony and all that.
Does it need a new battery?
Check, yeah. We've been so blessed to meet the team from Uganda, Nigeria, and from the US, and I've been learning a lot from you guys, and I've been so encouraged from all that you have shared from the past 2 days. And, we bring greetings to you from Shekinah Church, Bangalore. Right now, our church will be praying for all of us here, and the meeting that is happening there. We have a church that's always praying and supporting us, and we thank God for that. So I've been asked to share about how we managed COVID in India. So I just thought through all of the things that happened during COVID, and I thought, okay, let me share it with everyone as Pastor Teresa had asked me. Yeah. So there were 3 waves in India. I think I'm sure it was difficult in every other nation as well. So when there was first lockdown, it was a new thing, and people were not sure of what was happening. So at that time, we had our 3rd child. It was in February 2nd, we had a 3rd child, and March there was the lockdown. So we were in the house and not allowed to go outside. The restrictions were different, I think, in different countries. But I would like to, as I share all of the things that happened in India, I would like to thank God for His faithfulness and His goodness, because in spite of all that was happening around, God was still there with us. And He was faithful to take us through this situation and keep us safe. So the first lockdown, it was scary, and people were inside their homes, but not many deaths happened. We remotely heard of any such news. So, but the second was bad. The second all of a sudden started in April, and so very quickly people were getting too serious, and people were dying everywhere. And at that time, there were no beds in the hospital because so many people were getting sick. And in our country, there are hospitals, but it was not enough to cater to the needs of everybody. So even though there were hospitals, there were not enough oxygen cylinder, because this is a new situation that the entire country was shaken, and they didn't know how to handle it. So there were no beds, there were no oxygens, and uh, and many people were dying, and there was no place to bury people. So people were being cremated in the cemeteries, and it was a very hard time during those days. Um, yeah, another issue was there were many migrants from different places who came to work in different cities, and because of the lockdown, they wanted to go back to their families, and there was not enough transportation during those times, and people, many people just started walking on the streets, and if you see this picture of the baby, this lady died in the railway station, and the baby didn't know. She's trying to wake the mother, but she was dead because of COVID, because she was not provided with any help, any medical assistance, or anything. She was a migrant, and the people, as you see, people were walking across the railway stations and the bus stations to get back to their families. Yeah, you can see all of those pictures. And yeah, and what we did as a church during that time, how we stayed healthy, how we managed to, you know, move across this time. What we did was, because we could not meet as a church, there were different kind of lockdowns. Sometimes it was fully locked, and I think initially there were full lockdowns where people were not allowed to move anywhere. So at that time, what we did was we had online services. So whoever was near the churches, all our believers, we gathered together, and the person who did the video also was from our church. So we recorded services for the people. We did worship, and then we did messages, and it was kind of hard to even get some of the people who were staying a little far away. But through all the challenges, we were able to bring them and have a time of worship. And every day in the evening, we had short sermons from 6 to 6:30. So the message was shared by our senior pastor, and mom, and my husband, and some of the other leaders. So we recorded their messages and played it on YouTube for the church. It's still there in YouTube. You can see Ron, myself, Ron's sister. So we were all part of, doing this ministry.
Ron has a twin sister.
Yeah, that's Ron's twin sister.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. And he's just holding the video already. Yeah. So tonight is your dad, our senior pastor, and because of COVID, we had to have social distancing, and because of that, we had to increase the number of services when the lockdown was open. We now we have, I think that's when our Hindi service began, and now we have 6 services altogether. Earlier it was probably 4, now we have 6 services because of the social distancing. And the cops would come and check, if you're maintaining distance, if you're wearing mask, and all of that. Sanitizer and all, yeah. So we had to follow all the rules. Sometimes the lockdowns were only on Sundays.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, anything our government, had to get a reason to give a hard time to the Christians, they will do it. But we will still face that challenge, and we will find a way to worship our Lord. So if we closed on Sunday, we met on Saturdays. So we had all our services, and then so people, because a lot of people were going through depression, not only physically, people were going through loneliness, because nobody could go to work at that time, and they were having financial difficulty, they were having no food. So in all those times, our church really helped those families. Um, the word of God that was being shared every day encouraged the people. they sat together as family. And though the COVID was difficult, but for the children of God, it was a blessed time. Even though here and there we heard the people were getting sick, but still it was a blessed time because families could actually get together at that time, because otherwise their parents were busy working, and they had very little time. But this time they couldn't go out anywhere. They couldn't go out to restaurants or nothing. So families, there was good quality time to spend as family, father, mother, children, and they cooked together, cleaned together. They could get no help from outside. So they had to do all the chores inside the house, and the relationships were getting better, improving. And I even had heard from some of my friends' kids, they're saying, Mom, this time is really good, let it continue to be like this because you're home. Because you're home. Because the kids don't see their parents. It was not the case earlier in our parents' generation. Moms always took care of the children, but now it has changed. All the mothers are working, so mostly the children are raised by the grandparents or in the daycare, and things like that. So so the relationships were improved, and some of the families that were struggling in church were being helped by the church for food. Even though they couldn't go to work, God miraculously provided for all of their needs somehow. And some people even said, we are more blessed now even compared to the normal times, because we are not able to go to work, but we still have food on our plates and we have clothes to wear. A lot of companies came forward to give clothes and shoes, and they donated a lot of things, because if they kept it would go waste. So they gave free shoes and a lot of things. So we were able to, get it and give it to other people. And yeah, so as a church we did that, and then we also helped not only our church but also a lot of communities in our city, and we gave groceries and rice bags, and for which Pastor Gordon and Teresa also they have donated, and we have pictures of that as well for giving all we have given, and we made a package, so whatever is necessary for the month, and we have packed, and we've given it to many families, and give it to people in the community. So while we were doing this, I mostly stayed at home and helped probably in packing, or sometimes I went shopping grocery because I had the baby. But it's my husband and a group of people from church who did all of the outside ministries. They were on road all the time from morning till night, buying groceries, bringing them, packing them, and then giving it to different areas. The slum areas. A lot of people were afraid to even step out of the house at that time. But I'm so glad for giving me a husband like this, who is courageous and who fears the Lord than any other thing. Thank God for giving us some brothers from the church to volunteer for such works, because people were really afraid to go out during those times. And during those times when they went and found out, they went and found many places, like many areas were like kind of hidden within Bangalore. And we were even surprised, Bangalore is a cosmopolitan city and there are so many rich people, but at the same time, there are very poor people as well. So they went to those communities. So when they were helping one community, some other people also would come and ask. And we found out there was a big community of people who had no food at all in a place called Tomarahandi. So they went there and gave a flour and whatever their staple food was. So we were able to give this a shopping place called Metro. From there we got, this is our house, Raj. So we used at that time, to load up with the rations. And all of these communities were blessed. In one of the communities, there were 99 children, and very big families, because the husbands had 4 or 5 wives. So when they came, we we were able to find out, locate that area and go give groceries to all of these areas. And the beauty about all of this is we are still in touch with all of these people.
Awesome.
And the ministry was birthed in those areas during this COVID time.
Wow, wow, wow.
One of the places called Lal Miti and Tubra Ali, where they make drums like these but smaller ones. So they could not go out, and there were many Hindi speaking children in that area. So they discovered that area over there, and they provided food, ration, and we were also able to build a small school for them in that area. Not sure if you have that picture. This is the slums. These are the slum areas, different areas. So, Brahmali, this is probably this is the place that we are ready to build a school.
You built a school there?
School is with a tin roof.
Oh, okay.
And
So that's one of the slum
this is
slum
one of the
areas?
slums. This is a different area. Yeah. This is a different story. Yeah. These are like I told you, 99 kids. Yeah, this is that area. This is Subramalli. And the school, there were Hindi speaking people who made those drums. So we were able to build a school, and there's a person called Said who's doing the work there even right now. So as during COVID, we were able to find out all these areas and what their needs really are. And the next picture, this place is a place next to a temple called Iskon Temple, a Hindu temple. What they did was there were many homes where these people were staying, and they burned all of their houses to make a parking area for the temple, Hindu temple. Yeah. So when my husband and the team were giving out masks, they found this out, and they thought, actually many of them thought it was just an accident or something, but they found out that people had intentionally burned their houses so that they could have a parking area for the Hindu temple. So what they did was they slowly captured everything and reported in the newspaper, and the news went up to the Prime Minister, but not knowing that we reported it because there were a lot of politicians involved in that, and now they have built houses for them by praise God for that. And okay, the food, giving out food was in Cobra Valley, we built the house and we're still in touch. There was another colony called Isro. This is a slum which is next to a big sewage canal, and it is, when you walk across, you will not even notice that there is a place like this. So during COVID, we were able to find that through a brother who came and asked us for food. They wanted biryani. Biryani is a special food in our country. So my husband and the team, they went there and they found this place. They were immigrants from Tamil Nadu, and so there were a lot of families. When you look from outside, you will not be able to see that there are homes there. So we were able to give food and groceries to those people, and through that we started children's tuitions, and we have about over 100 kids there. Even now, we send Sister Catherine, who lives in our church. She goes there and teaches children, and we do different programs there as well. So we are connected with those people, and there's a company called Zomato that gave us food. There's an online food company. They gave us food for free, and we were able to bring food. Like when you buy food online, you can donate some, and that goes to the people in need. So we were able to get that food and give it to these kids in that area and also to their families. So they all know us. They know that they know us that we are church. Oh, those church people. That's how they recognize us. So we were able to help people in that area, and ministry was born in that area during COVID, and we still minister in that area. There's another place called Emily Garden. We've been working there for the past 12 years now, and we were able to get food from a five-star hotel. All the food that was going to waste, they managed to give, and we were able to give it to people in that area. And all the people that came that time, the kids and the young boys, are all in touch with us right now, and they are part of our TCA program, the school, for boys that we run.
Wow.
And we bought oxygen cylinders because there was lack of oxygen cylinders and people were dying. So I think with what Pastor Teresa and God gave, some of the oxygen cylinders were purchased and we were kept in our garage. And whoever there was an emergency whom we knew, our volunteers would take it to them. And yeah, they were called COVID angels.
COVID angels.
And we had to really appreciate the courage of these people when nobody was willing to go and even do anything outside. These people volunteered to go and assist those that were in a bad condition, and we could save some of the lives. So that was one of the things. And another thing that service that was offered to our church. My husband did many burial services. That was heartbreaking because of COVID. In India, when someone died, even their relatives were not allowed to come close. During the initial stages, they did not even show the body to the relatives. They just, took the body away. They said they would bury it, and they were not allowed to see even their faces. So that was a very heartbreaking thing, because they thought the virus could spread after the person is dead, but simultaneously other things were happening, organs were being stolen, which was found out later. And after some time, when there were more people dying, they could not handle it, and they were giving the bodies to the relatives. But the priests or the pastors, many of them did not come to bury because they were afraid. So at that time, my husband would go and do the burial services for many non-Christians or Catholics, whoever needed that kind of support. We went and he did that. And the last burial that he did during COVID was a lady who died of COVID, who had black fungus and half of her face was eaten, and none of her family members came. And he was there waiting at the cemetery and calling most of them. None of them turned, and then I think after a very long time, her son turned up and not even coming close. So he did service. That was a non-Christian lady. And but the beauty of this is, after a year, for her death anniversary, they were high-class Hindus, they called Brahmins in India. They called my husband and invited him to conduct a prayer service in their house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there were about 30 members in their family, and he was able to share the gospel to those people, and they gave their lives to Jesus. The family was grateful because they could bury the mother, because none of the family members came, or nobody volunteered to even do the service. So and they go to a church nearby. Um, they have accepted the Lord. So that's the beauty. When you do work, when you see one soul getting saved, it is worth doing anything. Amen. Okay, probably can show the videos.
kick them out of town, and so they got a violent exchange, and this is the outcome of it, is what we've done. But anyways, I'm here trying to give you the food and get a sort of story, and let's be blessing into this body here. Some of them are sort of proud about the Christ, they want to share a lot of as well. So help us out, encourage them, send more information to us this one.
That was the place next to the Hindu temple. That was, and they used COVID as a reason, saying that the people have already left. But we found out that now they have houses.
Also, we will give food. We are helping them out with ration as much as possible. There's 40 families. Another family was there, yeah? There's 105 families that are in need of food, that are sleeping around wherever they can find space in all these empty spaces here, other spaces that we're probably going to try to come here in the night and try and see what's happening with the families and try to help them out. So here's this is the project that we're working on right now with migrants that have come from other cities to work here in Bangalore. These are the atrocities that are happening. People are being violent towards them. They're definitely not spreading corona, no way. But this is just foolish beliefs that they have destroyed these houses, and it's sad. And these people have no houses anymore, so we want to help them. At least we have a story with it.
Yeah, so I think we were able to give 3,000 bags of food, of grocery bags during COVID,
Wow,
which
pretty
costed
good.
about 29 lakhs of rupees through the donation of our friends, and yeah, we were able to provide for all of them. And what we did to stay healthy during those times.
Yes.
Uh,
That's what we want to know.
it's a simple home remedy that we used.
So let me just draw attention to this. So most of the people that had COVID stayed home. But Olson and his team of mighty men, no, I'm making a joke, but they went out into the places where the people had COVID. So you helped to provide some type of health for them. And so this is what I want us all to kind of pay attention to this, because if something like this happens, then we can use your idea ourselves. So take notes, ladies and gentlemen both, because some of you don't have the ladies with you yet. So take notes, because this is very helpful. This can be very helpful for all of us. So, okay, thank you.
So they went throughout Bangalore. They were with people, and when they came back,
They were with thousands of people.
thousands of people.
Right.
Even in places where there was no hygiene, and places where there were sick people. He's done burials when they went to the hospitals, all of that. But after coming back home, hygiene is one of the things. Take out clothes, put it away, wash, and after having a bath, there's a big concoction that we used to make, and most of us
Okay,
drank.
I'm sorry. So, I just want to just back up a little bit to make it extremely clear. So, your husband gets home.
Yeah.
He walks in the door, he comes and sits down on the couch, or what does he do? Okay, so what does he do? See, did you see that? No? Did you see that? No? Okay. What does he do? Because COVID is not going to be the last world epidemic. So maybe we can learn something.
Yeah.
So he comes home, and then what do you do with it?
I would spray a sanitizer spray first, and then he goes to have a bath, and I would take all his clothes in a bucket or a bag and put it outside where the washer is
Okay.
for washing.
Okay.
And he would have a bath and come, and then drink that concoction that we make. They said during COVID it goes through your mouth or your nostrils first. So if you can attack it here, it doesn't get into your system. So when you have a bath, also wash your nostrils also gargle your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the 2 entry points.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did he take the vaccine at that time? Okay.
So I have also input because Olson has told me privately that when they're severely locked down, you can drive nowhere. So how did he go everywhere and get food and everything? He told me his secret. He became an undertaker, meaning he has a placard in his window, so he can go anywhere and he will collect the dead bodies and deliver them to where they need to be. This was his secret. I'm sorry to tell you a secret. How he could go around. So even those who died from COVID, he's transporting those.
Wow.
Without the vaccine. Without the vaccine.
Wow.
So that's why, this is why I just think it's really critical for us to pay attention to this, because a lot of times people are afraid.
They're afraid.
And if we're gonna be a Joseph in a time that the world needs a Joseph, we must know these ideas that you have. Okay, go ahead.
What was the disinfectant you sprayed when you came in?
There was the COVID sanitizer spray that was sanitizer spray. There were different spray, and most commonly used in our country was Dettol, antiseptic. They were like out of stock.
You know that.
Do you have that?
Antiseptic.
And we also put incense in our house.
Yeah.
And, like frankincense.
Yeah.
Frankincense.
You guys have Dettol? And that fragrance, also
Not saying
inside
quite right.
the house.
So the Africans know Dettol as well. Know Dettol, the antiseptic. Disinfectant.
Yeah.
And frankincense you burned?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the house. The concoction I will tell. So we put the concoction that we made is with ginger, pepper, garlic,
What kind of pepper?
black pepper.
Okay.
Black pepper seeds. Yeah, those brown black ones, and then cardamom, cloves, and then lemon and ginger are the most important ones, and turmeric. These 3 are very important: lemon, turmeric, and ginger. And the other one is pepper, cloves. If you have cardamom, yeah, you can use that as well. And boil it to half. You put 1 liter of water, bring it to half a liter, and then we drank it twice, like in the morning and in the night.
So twice a day. Okay.
Yeah, like
4 ounces. 4
Yeah.
ounces. 100 milliliters.
Yes. So we drank in the morning empty stomach and night after eating before going to bed. And we also have neem leaves that also kills the germs. I don't know if you have it. Neem leaves, the green leaves.
And how did you use those?
You can put that in the concoction as well. And you can use it for cleaning, like put the leaves in the water and clean your floors.
Okay.
You just keep it at your entrance.
Wow.
It kills the virus.
Wow.
Yeah, even in your baths, you can put those neem leaves.
So for the children, they would take a bath and
Yes,
use.
you boil it in water and take baths. And the other thing is steam inhalation. That's something also kills the virus. You do it twice a day, twice or thrice. If you have a cold, you can do it more than twice, but otherwise twice a day. So he would do all of this when he comes.
So I want to say it one more time. So you didn't take the vaccine at that time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into politics, but I'm just saying, at that particular time, you had not taken the vaccine. Olson, you allowed your husband, you have these small children,
Yeah.
you allowed your husband Olson to go out and distribute food, etc., to thousands of people.
Yes.
The way that he was able to do that was he got the classification as an undertaker, or someone that would pick up the dead bodies.
Yeah.
So that's how he was able to go out into the community and be able to bring the gospel.
Yes.
And he brought the gospel through providing food and the other needs for these people, thousands of people. And he went into the most unsanitary conditions. And so the way that you did this is you gave him this he gave him this, I think Ashley's putting it up there. He gave him the, this concoction, and then in the morning, and when he came home, he took his clothes, he put them in a bucket, he put them outside by the washing machine. He went and took a bath, gargling and also washing out his nose. And then he comes back out and he's then with the children. And the children, you gave them baths in the neem leaves, burnt frankincense in the house. You did all of these things. I don't like to use the word religiously, but what's the word? Constantly. Faithfully. Every day. For months and months and maybe even a year or something.
Yeah, we slowed down, but when there was lockdowns and when we heard that this virus was still there, at least for a couple of months, we all did this religiously. Yeah,
Right.
we did it every day. The
And the Lord kept you.
steam inhalation, the frankincense, every day. Because it just takes a little bit of time for the virus to enter the body. So you kill it before it enters your system.
Yeah, the difference is our family went very few places, and we had COVID at least 3 times in our home. So that's the difference. I mean, it's like, for me, this is why I am very impressed with this. And the one cry that everyone knows that I had, and Ashley's got it there, I'm sure she can WhatsApp it to everyone. She just wrote down what you said. The cry that I had was, we can't reach the people in Africa to tell them how to advise them of what to do. That was really heartbreaking to me because I didn't know what to do. This was something totally new, but India really has, one of the talents God has given to India is in medicine and this type of medicine. So maybe we can learn from it, and then maybe the next time these types of things are easily available, whereas the vaccine and all of those other things to the poor are not available. But these types of things are available to the poor and available to just about anybody, so they can start with this until, you know, whatever happens. And of course, the vaccine doesn't make you Superman, and some people don't prefer to take it, but at least you can do something for your family. So thank you. This is really very helpful. I hope you guys are taking notes. Because if you aren't, I'm not going to worry the next time this comes, because you had the opportunity. Anyways, go ahead.
Ashley will text you that.
Yeah, we're working on getting it right now.
Whereas the technology.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead. I just want to focus because I'm telling you, I was crying out to the Lord at night to keep our families safe in Africa. Because I know, you had to go to the bank. I heard it. We cried out.